Hello everyone and welcome to the highlights video for round 3 of the URL-GT1 championship from Mugello. This circuit always provides good racing and close battles, but let's first have a look at the qualifying results. It was Mihovil Markovic dominating the field. He took pole with a 140.8, 5/10 of a second in front of Robert Horvat, who was in front of Michal Klisch. Looking further down in the AM Cup, it was Nikolai Gaidov in 16th taking the pole. Mark Fuller took second in the AM Cup, and Andrei Golubnici, the championship leader, took third position, and he's in 21st in total. We also have 30 drivers on the grid, so we're going from record to record. 30 drivers, a new record for URL. So let's get on with the highlights of the race. So here we are on the grid at Mugello, 30 drivers lined up to take the start, and Mihovil doesn't get a great start. Robert is right on the inside of him, but everyone keeps it clean. Andrei Golubnici got a stop-and-go penalty at this point. Tony Ukic is on the grass trying to gain positions, and he does. He's in second now. Small tap there from Michal on Mihovil Markovic, and then drama struck as Michal Klisch and Mikko Korkiakoski were turned around, and it was a big pile-up with all 20 drivers behind involved. Let's see at the end of lap 1 who got stranded where. Tony Ukic got in second position after a ballsy move into turn 1, and he's putting some pressure on Robert Horvat. They're being followed by Mihovil Markovic, Florian Kutz, and also Miguel Santiago Carao. So that's a top 5 for now. Into the first lap, Peter Backus, Sten Mikkel Olsen, Simon Fillingham in 8th. Good start for him. Greg Metcalf. Those are the guys that could avoid the carnage more or less. And then Ethan Bass in a weird collision with Alex Scott. Unfortunately, he's on the side of the track and will have to wait for everyone to rejoin. Then Mikko Korkiakoski, he's rejoined in 20th position and trying to catch as many places as he can, as quickly as he can. And then Ethan Bass here, currently in last position. Robert was able to make a bit of a gap to Tony to get away from the pressure when starting the second lap. But we will see if Robert can keep the gap like that or even increase it. So Robert Horvat across the line in first position after 1 of 37 laps, followed by Tony Ukic. And then the whole field streaming by, and although we had a big turn 1 incident, still a lot of drivers are very, very close. Nikolai Gaidov here in first in the AM Cup at the moment, but that can all change here. Andrei Golubnici taking a stop-and-go penalty for jumping the start, so he will drop down, and Ethan Bass currently in second to last position. Florian Kutz made a mistake at the end of lap 1. He went wide in the last turn. Miguel Santiago Carao got by, and also Peter Backus could slip past barely. Let's see if Florian can retake 5th position. Around the outside of turn 1. There is some grip there, but he will have to keep it there to be able to get the inside for the next turn, and he doesn't. So then here, looking back from Tony Ukic, Mihovil Markovic, pole sitter, just behind him, gets onto the grass, and he will lose some positions here. Let's see, Miguel Santiago Carao just getting past him here to take third. So Mihovil Markovic down to 4th position from pole. Then Sten Mikkel Olsen in 8th position. He had a reasonably good start. He's trying to get past Simon Fillingham, and they're absolutely side by side. Sten is able to get his car past, and Alex Scott gets another position as well as Simon Fillingham gets onto the grass at a spot where many drivers will be doing that in this race. So a lot of position changes here through these S's. We have to be careful. Here's another one. I think it's Mark Fuller losing a position. Here's Peter Abelovsky, last week's winner. and Mikko Korkiakowski just in front of him, with between them Jari Lakonen. So very, very close here in the middle of the pack, we have to say, for 18th position. Peter has to slot in back behind, and Mark Fuller is right on his tail as well. We will see him coming into the picture here. There was someone going off into turn 1. Yeah, Mark Fuller taking advantage of the Nissan GTR straight line speed to get close again to Peter Abelovsky. There's Jari Lakonen spinning. Unfortunately, Mark Fuller gets involved and loses some positions. Then Greg Metcalf looking back. Felix Boucher tries to pass him, but he brakes too late, goes off here, and that gives Ilya Isayenko, I think, also another position. No, sorry, that's Alex Lausch. And Ethan Bass riding with him. Big oversteer moment there, but he's right behind Chris Simpson, picking up the pieces after his first lap crash with Alex Scott, and he's up to 25th position. Will he gain some other positions? He's behind Alexander Petrushenko, his teammate, that is, also in the blue, white, red Viper, and they're following one of the Christensen brothers in the Ford GT. So can Ethan take another position this lap? Yes, he can, as his teammate goes wide. Couldn't judge if that was intentional or not, but Ethan Bass up to 24th position. Going through these S's again. Always very close to the grass there, so guys have to be careful. Then Peter Abelovsky and Mikko Korkiakowski, they got right up behind Mitchell Smith. Mikko goes for the inside, and Peter Abelovsky will try to follow through. Good late braking there by Mitchell. He's on the outside, a bit of a spin, bit of a slide there for Peter Abelovsky, so he will have to slot in behind Mitchell, or will he give him space? Yeah, he's not going for that fight. And yeah, the two championship contenders in Pro go through to take 14th and 15th. And Mihovil Markovic was very eager to get back past Miguel Santiago Carao after he went off to take 4th position. And they're absolutely side by side here into turn 1. But Miguel at the moment keeps his Lister in front. And Peter Backus and Florian Kutz are not too far back from these two guys. So they have to be careful not to lose too much time. The two guys in front, Tony Ukic and Robert Horvat, have made a bit of a gap, so they can worry about each other. And here Miguel goes a bit wide and then makes a bit of a dirty move, goes to the inside, and that leaves Mihovil on the wrong side of the track on the grass, losing 2 positions in the process. But he would not give up that easily, so at the end of the next lap, or at the beginning of the next lap, he will try to get past Florian Kutz, who overshoots his braking point, and he will get past into turn 1. Then riding with Mark Fuller behind Kimi Martikainen and his teammate Sando Donadel, and Mark overestimates his braking abilities or the brakes of the car, and hits the rear of his teammate Sando Donadel, who was in 1st of the AM Cup. So this is a battle here for first position, positions 1, 2 and 3 all together. Sando Donadel, Mark Fuller and Nikolai Gairov, who won the last race and also got pole, and he's getting a spin, so let's see where he ends up later on. Then Michal Klisch, he got turned around in turn 1 as well, and he's now trying to get past and succeeding, getting past Greg Metcalf. Peter Abelovsky on the next lap will try the exact same move around the outside of turn 1, and it seems he will get it done. A lot of sliding in turn 1 for Peter Abelovsky, so he's really asking everything from the tires. So just in front of the pit stops, Robert Horvat, followed by Tony Ukic, then Miguel Santiago Carao in 3rd, Peter Backus in 4th, Florian Kutz in 5th, and then behind them Mihovil Markovic. No, he is already pitted to take advantage of Sten Mikael Olsen, Alex Scott, Peter Abelovsky. Very, very close to each other here. So Peter Abelovsky up to P8 for the moment. Then Michal Klisch, Simon Fillingham into the top 10 still. Then Greg Metcalf, followed by Alex Lausch in the Saleen, Ilya Isaenko, Ethan Bass up to 14th, Kimi Martikainen in the Ferrari F40. Then Mark Fuller, Sando Donadel. Those are the AM guys. Matthias Christensen, Chris Simpton, Jari Lakonen, Mihovil Markovic, he has pitted already. Then Matthias Christensen, Chris Simpton, and Mikko Korkiakowski here, followed by David Nesbitt, Nikolai Gairov. So he had a bit of a spin. He will have to try and take some positions back to take the win in the AM Cup. Andrei Golubnici is currently in last position. So here's Robert Horvat going for the pits. There were some drivers getting an early pit stop, but we'll see later if that gave them any advantage. So Sten Mikael Olsen during the pit cycle got behind Kimi Martikainen, and Sten has already pitted in this case. Bit of a slide there from Kimi, and Sten goes through with a bit of aero damage probably. Then Ilya Isaenko, he's now behind Nikolai Gairov, who put in some good laps and is now in first of the AM Cup after the pit stops. So let's see if Ilya, who's racing in Pro, if he can get past. He's in the Maserati MC12, that's working very, very well here, as we could see from the pole time of Mihovil Markovic. Oh, I'm sorry, he's in the Saleen, which was also working very well, but Nikolai Gairov has to slot in behind, but he is keeping first spot in the AM Cup. So then Robert Horvat got out in front of Toni Ukic in the pits. So first and second, but Tony is a bit closer here, and then drama struck for the podium spots. Here's Miguel Santiago Carao, followed by Peter Backus, very, very close after the pit stops as well. No time was being given to either driver. And then if you look in front, here's David Nesbitt, and he has a technical failure on the car, starts sliding, and no way there for Miguel, or very difficult to avoid that incident, and he's losing third spot to Peter Backus, and Florian Kutz and Mihovil Markovic, as you can see, are also very, very close. Then Simon Fillingham in a battle with Jari Lakonen, he's getting onto the grass. Can Simon position his car so he can get through? Yes, he can. So the Aston takes another position. Then Michal Klisch on Ethan Bass. So thing to note is Ethan Bass went to the pits but did not change tires, and it's a very very brave call, as this track is very hard on tires. And yeah, Ethan turned in a bit too early there and got the worst of it, so he's off the track at the moment. And then Alex Scott got close to Ethan, and he will try to go around the outside of turn 1 as well. A lot of passes around the outside here. As I said, quite some grip on the outside line, and then you're on the inside for turn 2, and move done as well for Alex Scott. So Toni Ukic, as we said, got out a bit closer to Robert Horvat after the pit stops, and managed to close down the gap consistently. And unfortunately, here's Robert making a slight mistake, slightest mistake, and will he lose first position to Tony? A bit of paint trading, nothing too serious, but Toni Ukic takes first position. So he's the only driver that has taken a driver's championship from Mikko Korkiakowski in the last 8 seasons. So then here's the battle between Florian Kutz and Miguel Santiago Carao. Florian Kutz streams by. That's after Miguel lost P3 to Peter Backus. So Florian Kutz closed down the gap and goes up to 4th. Meanwhile, in the AM Cup, as I said, Nikolai Gairov is in first, Mark Fuller in second, Alexander Petrushenko and Mitchell Smith in 17th and 18th, and Mitchell Smith followed here by Alex Lausch. Very closely indeed for 19th position. So these guys are trying to get into the points, trying to get into that top 15 for the pro drivers to get any points. Here is Mitchell going a bit wide. Can Alex go for the inside, or will he wait for a later moment? Yeah, decides against it. Getting a good line through this turn here can be also a good chance to set up a passing move, and Mitchell Smith stays a bit on the outside. I think if Alex can get the power down early enough, he will be able to make the pass, but he can't. So through the S's here, they keep it on the track. Can Alex go for the inside line? Oh, Mitchell braked a bit too late, got onto the grass, and that gives Alex Lausch 18th position. So very close and hard battles here. Then Mihovil Markovic in 6th position also got close to Miguel Santiago Carao, who made the same mistake as Mitchell Smith and lost 5th position. So it went downhill for him in the second stint. And then in the very last lap, Simon Fillingham was behind Sando Donadel, and Sando is in 3rd in the AM Cup. So he will want to just hold on to that place. Simon is not in his class, but he's not giving up that easily. Although Simon is through now, so Sando will take P3 in the AM Cup. So here's our race leader, very closely followed throughout the whole second stint after the pass by Robert Horvat, and they will cross the line less than a second apart. And with these 30 drivers on the grid, there's battles left and right, so very good drive here by these two. They're 30 seconds clear of 3rd position, so they had a magnificent pace. Tony Ukic in 1st, Robert Horvat in 2nd, Peter Bakus, as we saw, took 3rd, and will finish on the podium together with his teammates. So good result there for the BNT competition guys. Then Florian Kutz, Mihovil Markovic, Miguel Santiago Carao, Sten Mikkel Olsen, good result for him in P8. Peter Abelovsky made it up to P8. So sorry, Sten was in 7th. Craig Metcalf then into the top 10. P9, Mikko Korkiakowski in 10th position. Alex Scott in 11th. He will finish Michal Klisch in 12th, who's suffering with the tires in the last turns. Ethan Bass then on his very worn tires in 13th. And here's the rest of the field. Nikolai Gairov taking the win in AM. So just like last race, Mark Fuller in 2nd position for the AM Cup. Alexander Petrushenko in 17th position. Alex Lausch in 18th. Mitchell Smith and Simon Fillingham again finishing back to back, but unfortunately for them outside of the points for Team 87. Sando Donadel taking 3rd position in the AM Cup. So a very hard fought race, and we'll have a look right away at the final standings. Our race leader is already in the garage, and he won 7/10 in front of Robert Horvat. Peter Bakus was 30 seconds down, but that battle for the podium was very, very close, with a lot of drivers within half a minute. As we said, Nikolai Gairov from Mark Fuller from Sando Donadel in the AM Cup, and not too many non-finishers: Yevgeny Leonov, Felix Boucher, Bjarne Christensen, Matthias Christensen and David Nesbitt. So a very good race, a lot of action. There's a lot of action that couldn't be on this highlights reel, but if you want, you can always download the replay on our website and have a look for yourself through the 70 minutes of action and URL racing. Next week we will be heading to Magny-Cours. That's the next round in GT1, but the next round in GT3 is actually next week, and that will be at Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. So join us for that, and join us for some good racing at unitedracersleague.com.